Welcome back, ChangeMakers. Today we're going to be talking about the player's scale mechanic of the ChangeMakers system. A quick disclaimer, since it is February, it is also Black History Month, so I wanted to talk about Black civil rights. Mostly because we're talking about narrative mechanics for a game literally called ChangeMakers, and I figured this was an opportune time to talk about that. This is just a heads up, so I don't, blindside you. If my biases are incorrect or you notice a pattern that I wasn't aware was there, feel free to leave a comment or you can email us. Our email is in the description below. Moving on. So player scales. That's what we're talking about today. The short version is this is a tool that can help change the playing field to match the kind of story you're telling. We have 5 scales. We have the person scale, the group scale, the community scale, the territory scale, and the nation scale. There's a lot that goes on with all of these, so we're just going to talk about 3 of them today, and we'll talk about the other 2 next week. So today is about the person scale, the group scale, and the community scale. So I'm going to use the Black Panthers as my example. Starting at the person scale, these are the players would be playing individual people. So they would probably be one player would play as Bobby Seale, another player would play as Huey Newton, a couple other players are probably just people that want to join the Black Panthers for whatever reason. At this scale, it's mostly about how they interact with the world around them. So every conflict is going to tie back to how they feel about that issue and about finding other like-minded people. Who are they? What do they care about? Why? How do they want to attack these conflicts? How do they want to make change? Because they're change makers. Once they have found those like-minded people and they've started to group up, they can become groups. This is not the Black Panthers yet. These are loose ideologies that the players would be representing. So instead of playing as individual characters like they did in the person scale, the player playing Bobby Newton is now playing Black nationalism, and the player playing Huey Newton is now playing mainstream nonviolence. I don't know if that's accurate, but and then some other ones are probably playing at Black separatism or other Black power specifically, or anything like that, and it's just kind of loose terms, and they're trying to figure out what they're trying to become. So at the group level, it's more about what defines them. Who are the Black Panthers? What are their core values? Do they care about the poverty line? Do they care about education? Do they just care about police brutality? What kind of things are they trying to get into? And how are they going to handle violence? I mean, this is the civil rights movement. It's kind of a big deal. So they're talking about, are they going to be purely non-violence? Are they, if push comes to shove, are they going to do a little more shoving? Are throwing Molotov cocktails going a bit too far? How far can they get? Are white people allowed in their group? It's where are their boundaries? That's what they're trying to figure out at a group scale. Once they've gotten to that point, they can be a little more structured. They have a clear idea of what they are and what they are not, and they become a community. Now we're at the community scale. We're considerably larger. So at this point, they're probably different chapters. Like, I'm the Black Panthers in the Oakland area, and I'm the Black Panthers in the San Francisco area. Well, and another player is the Black Panthers in the Chicago area, or something like that. By this point, they've probably told those stories a lot. So more likely they'll be moving on to different ideas. So one player would continue to play as the Black Panthers, another player would play as the SCLC, another one would be the NAACP or something like that, and they would all be playing different communities. Communities are a much larger scale, and they have a much wider berth, I think. It can be anywhere from a small neighborhood to a whole town to obviously very different chapters of a community. They could even be one chapter in a town, and each player could be a different group in that town, and that can be how that runs. So an interesting way to use these scales is actually to mix them up. So you can, especially for the civil rights movement, you could be showing differences in influence and power levels by having one player play as Malcolm X at a person scale, one person playing as the POC group in a college campus at a group scale, and one player playing as the SCLC at a community scale. And this would probably be a really tough story for CM to tell, just because there's a lot of the mechanics require an understanding of economics, kind of, and being able to get them to feel the right way. So you would probably need to be really comfortable with the system before you ran this story. But it would be an interesting story, obviously. Otherwise, why would I tell you? The most interesting part of it all would be how to show how influence affects people. So seeing the difference between how the SCLC versus Malcolm X helps define what's going on with that college group, and watching them grow and develop based on how they're all attacking conflicts and how they're handling things, and seeing what happens with them. So next week we're going to be talking about territories and nations. We're just going to be continuing on where we left off this week. For now, I would love to see how well you guys understood what I've been talking about. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but for the most part, it's what are your story ideas for these different scales? I'd love to see them all. Please like and subscribe to us. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. There's links to that in the description. Yeah. See you next week. Bye.